Good morning, John.
Good morning, Ryan.
How you doing today?
Everything's good. A very nice day, cold but nice here in Bogota. What about you?
Also very nice, but hot in Chicago. Hot and humid. We have a minor heat wave this next couple days, but it's all right. It's summer, so it's better than it being freezing out.
For sure.
But we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to have a cup of coffee, and we're talking about customer centricity today, or how to truly become customer centric. So, before we dive into that, for those who are listening or watching, maybe we should give ourselves some quick introductions. I am Ryan McCall. I am the CEO here at AnyQ. I sit in the Chicago suburbs. I've had a long career working in technology, SaaS, and AI, now with AnyQ. And yeah, we're really looking forward to sharing some thoughts with everyone today. So, John?
I'm Jan Bernier, Colombian guy. I'm in Bogota these days. NEQ founder. I focus more on the AI side, quantum computing, building technologies, and integrate AI data in our flows. Well, that is my venture here and the intention to share about this interesting topic, customer centric.
Awesome. Well, thanks, John. All right. Well, let's dive right into it. So I think like the very first and most obvious question is, what is customer centric or customer centricity, and then what is not? So how do you see that, John?
Um, the first thing it is, let's create a general concept about what is customer centric. And I think marketing said and business strategy said many times that we need to listen our clients, we need to understand our clients, but that is different to have in the center of our business. And customer centricity, it is a mindset and a business culture to find and always transfer value and make a bilateral value transferring between our clients and our organizations or our companies. That customer centricity means also that we can say when to solve something to the client, but also when to say no to the client. It is about build long-lasting relationships based on the value side. What is, or maybe better, what is not customer centricity? Is not try to solve anything. Is not try to have a big market and solve for everyone. Customer centricity, it is not about have unique solutions or the custom solution for every case. Customer centricity is more about to build relationships, understand those deep insights and information from the specific users we have, and understand that we transcend as companies from the typical B2C or B2B, and we are more a human to humans business relationships. So it is when we go further than the ICP or the personas and start understanding the human in the other side. That human in the other side, it is not only a buyer, could be our user, could be an influencer, could be somebody that hate our solution because has some kind of impact and we need to understand them. It is when we as companies start understanding that they have different personalities, they have challenge, they have families, they have emotions, dreams. And when we start understanding this and setting in the center of our company, we start driving better value solutions to them. This is about the customer centric today.
Yeah. So it's not the customer is always right, and it's not giving everyone everything they want, right? It's all about making the customer the center of your corporate universe and adding value to them in every day, but also understanding that everything the customer wants isn't necessarily the customer needs or something that you can deliver, and you're not going to try and deliver something that is outside of the scope of really what you're trying to accomplish. But when you do those things, you don't overcommit. You don't try and be everything to everyone, but then you still focus solely on making the customers the most important thing in your universe. Think that really is gets you to being a customer centric business.
Yes, yes.
Great. Then I think hopefully what a lot of people here are to listen to, based because of your expertise and what NEQ does is, how can AI support a business in being customer centric, especially when every human, every customer, every potential customer are unique.
I can say the typical things. AI can help us to automate, can help us to analyze more data, can help us to simplify. But I want to focus in maybe hiding things that AI could help us today as companies. And the first it is break our biases. Any company, any human has different kind of biases. Everyone has, because the different cultural approach we have, the region, in fact our language has different bias to explain many things. So the first thing AI is help us to break that biases and improves the way that the cultural and the business, the business culture and mindset we have, break that part to help us understand better, deeply, and broad our clients today. The first thing it is, most of the times companies start with the ICP, the ideal customer profile. But AI could help us to move that concept to something that we call at NEQ the real customer profile. How really are they? And AI could help us to simulate those potential clients and, in fact, our clients today. The other important thing it is AI could help us to drive better communication with them. And I'm not talking about only about content creation that is very common today in the digital marketing scenario. Drive better communication, it is understand those hooks, those topics that create connection with our different kind of users and clients. It is different when you as company need to address, and we lived yesterday in our weekly session, it is very different. And could maybe many people know the British English and the North American English. But was interesting that table stakes term that we found yesterday creating content that you mentioned that is very common in Chicago. And Chicago people understand better that, for example, British people, that it is not common for them. So the same happen in every country with any language. And AI help us to break those bias, break those barriers that we could have to create that unique communication. And AI help us today to hyper personalize. But personalization today, it is not send message with something that could say Mr. slash Mrs. and the name of the person. This is not personalization today. Personalization is how we can as company have thousands or even millions of users, customers, and leads in our company, and we can understand the most possible features and insights from all of them, and not the typical feature. They are interested in this product, they are willing to pay this amount. It is understand something like this is the personality, for example. This is something emotional way. This is the preferred channel and the preferred communication this person has. This is the kind of a structure that helps to understand and start connecting this with pains, fears, gains, dreams, frustrations, and many other I call a customer preference to understand them. And when we have that, we can craft better communications approach. If you have as company 5 clients, for sure it's easy. Just open your text application or something like this and write one message for each of them. But if you have many of them, AI helps you to connect that organizational context with offer and create really customized, unique sales propositions to each of them.
No, that's fantastic, John. I think like one of the great core things about that is, where you started off with ICPs and buyer personas. And I think a lot of mistakes some companies make is they say, oh, well, we've identified our ICPs and our buyer personas. So, we're personalizing our marketing and our sales. Well, from a general perspective, when your ideal customer persona is, a SME in the Midwest United States that sells trinkets. Sure. And then your buyer persona is, middle-aged male or female that works for that type of company. That's the CMO. Sure, those are ICPs and buyer personas, but there's nothing really personal about them. They're still extremely general. When you expand that into, with the marketing and the sales efforts, right, into, geographic specific language, what the as you said, what that person likes or doesn't like. Are they tech forward or are they tech regressive, right? Those are the things that AI can help you build out into your sales and marketing efforts. Then you really get the hyper personalization, which leads to being customer centric. Um, Very cool. So then I think next, what are some actions that a company can do to work on being customer centric? Like without any extra tools or services, what can the average company do so that they can see themselves as moving towards that direction of being customer centric?
Before or well, with these tips, I think the first and most important will be keep updated with the concept of the ICPs, the personas, and the segments. And I want to explain this in this way. Um, every person is changing every day. We change our behaviors, our patterns, because we learned something yesterday, because we could have a better wake up today or not, because the coffee was with a different flavor. There are many variables in our lives and make us different, and we can change. In fact, every day we are or it's supposed a better human version of the previous day. And AI, and that is the first tip, could help us to keep updated with those concepts and understand the patterns, the behaviors that our actual clients has. It is hard to understand all the data spectrum that companies has. Just imagine this, Ryan. A average company, as you said, could have three social media. Let's say LinkedIn, YouTube, and one from Meta. They could have a website, a normal website, and they could have a communication channel, WhatsApp, iMessage, Telegram, something like this. We are talking about at least five different channels. You have metrics, data from all of them. In addition, you could have the typical email channel that gets you a lot of information. You need to have a clear view of all that data. The typical AI solutions we have today could help you to analyze and get a good insight of all those channels. And very fast, you just need to start asking what changed before or with my previous day or previous week. And for example, understanding communication patterns with your users. The second tip, it is AI could help us today to analyze before react faster. Something that's happened today, it is we don't have time to be aware or analyze each action that we make. You receive as a business person tons of email every day, a lot of messages also to solve. You can use AI to quickly analyze what is happening and not about what users is requesting or saying. You can analyze those hidden patterns, emotions, the personality, connect that with the previous conversation, and you can get a full and quick context of information and reply better in that process. Understand the risk or the opportunities also that you can build in that process. And the third option and the third tip, it will be the easy way. You can hire a tool as NEQ and co-create, collaborate, and work as team in that communication challenge, solving and closing those gaps, and have with for your company an AI team that works for you and make that process simple and life easy for you.
So knowledge, speed, and efficiency.
Yeah.
Understanding the data that you have and how it relates to your customers, responding at lightning speed, and being efficient by using smart tools like from AI tools, NEQ, whatever else, even standard GPTs or LLMs that are publicly available. I think that's great, and I think it's right. I mean, you know, it's hard to say today, how many companies are truly adopting AI. There's tons of data, metrics, surveys that are out there. But I think people who have tried it and really given it a fair shot, even again, the most simple tools are learning that, this isn't here to replace you, but it is here to make your life easier. You can get a first draft of that email or, of a, short Word document that instead of having to write the whole thing, just as an example. But I totally agree. AI and efficiency, and then tools like AnyQ. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Beyond that, I think, what's important too is the last thing you touched on is, how AnyQ can help, right? And obviously, that's our company. We're here to talk about AI, customer centricity, but that's the core of AnyQ and what we do. And I think, how we can help people. There's QR code here. If anyone wants to scan it, they can check out a free trial and a discount as we launch our newest service here. But how AnyQ can help is the fact that our whole business is built around us being customer centric and helping our customers be customer centric to theirs. And that's by using our AI tools to really develop those hyper personalized ICPs, buyer personas, segments, and everything, right? And then creating your social media marketing content that is hyper personalized as well through geography and attitude and industry and everything, right? All without barely lifting a finger. I think it's hard to overstate how exciting what we're offering is. But I think people really need to try it to find out. And we have a free demo online now. We have a free, which is generic, but then we have our free trial that is hyper personalized to your business and your customers and your industries. So really would love to get some people to give it a shot and see what they have to say, and see how we can help them grow.
That is great. That is great. People can find our public demo, Ryan, in the website, so they can just start using, testing, and well, giving feedback to us also to keep improving.
Fantastic, John. Awesome. Well, we had a quick call today, but that's all right. And I don't see any messages in the chat. So I think with that, we can just kind of cut it off a little bit early, but it was a fantastic call, John. Hopefully some people learned some things, and it's great talking to you.
Great to have you here, Ryan. Thanks.
Thanks, John. Have a good day. See you.
Bye.